Hello everyone. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Jenna Ryan Show. I'm Jenna Ryan, Realtor with RE/MAX Dallas Suburbs in Plano, Texas. And today I have some fabulous guests with me today. I have the former mayor of Plano, Phil Dyer. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be with you this morning.
Awesome. And I have Victoria Snee with Legacy West as well.
Good morning, Jenna. Thank you so much for having us, and happy Sunday to everyone.
Absolutely. Welcome, everyone. We have the phone lines open at 214-787-1190. If you have a question about Legacy West for Victoria or about Plano for Phil Dyer, just give us a call. We would love to hear from you. This is your show, and we want it to be about what you want it to be about. We're looking at 2 weeks before Christmas. It's almost Christmas time.
Cannot believe it.
Are you done with your shopping?
I am not.
Are you done with yours?
I'm farther along than normal, which isn't saying much.
Well, I have got to get started. It's really close, not too far away. And then tonight we have the Dallas Cowboys.
Woohoo! Go Cowboys!
Woohoo! I'm so excited.
Yeah, it should be a great game.
It's at nighttime. They're actually getting a nighttime slot.
Yeah, and they're playing the Giants, of course, who's the only team we've lost to this season. So we are definitely wanting, I say we, like I'm part of the Cowboys, but I feel like I am. And you know what's interesting too is the Cowboys, the next 3 games are all night games. They're all at 7:30. They were supposed to play Tampa, I believe, at noon next Sunday.
Okay.
But because the Cowboys are red hot, and we love those ratings, of course.
That's right.
They moved them to a 7:30 game next weekend, and then the following weekend after that is Monday Night Football. So it's just all about the Cowboys right now.
Can you believe it? It's been 20 years.
I know.
It's been 20
We're due.
years.
Yeah.
We're ready.
And we're going to do it this year. I just feel it. It's really coming. And so one of the reasons why I wanted to bring everybody together today for this show is really just to talk about all the incredible development. Plano is booming. It's unbelievable what's going on. And I drive by the tollway. I sell houses, so I'm on all the tollways all day long. And I drive by and I see all these cranes up in the air and all this development going on. And this place is hot. And that is why I have these 2 fabulous experts here to help me understand just what's going on in the area with Legacy West and everything. So,
It's great. It's wonderful. And I'm sure, our mayor here will tell us that, there's a lot that's changed.
Oh my, yeah.
Yeah.
I've lived here for 32 years, and it's been remarkable. You can say that anywhere, but if you go back a long way, I moved to Richardson in 1964, so going back 52 years.
Wow.
Plano barely existed back then.
So true.
Absolutely. I'm from Dallas. So I remember when the tollway stopped at 190, just Plano was about as far as you could go.
It was a road trip.
Absolutely. Now you became a mayor of Plano during 2009?
Yes.
The most horrendous time in our recent economic history.
Yes. Yeah, it was an interesting time. I never really had any intention of running for mayor. I was on the city council from 99 to 05, and I was term limited out. And I thought I was done, but when the economy went bad, I thought maybe I could come back and help. And people wanted me to come back because I had the experience on the city council, and I had a career in banking, so the numbers, which was the game at the time, was
That's right.
keeping the city solvent and flowing and moving. That was what it was all about. So between my city experience and my banking experience, thought maybe I could help, and so that's why I came out of retirement and served for 4 years.
Wow. And you were the president of Legacy Bank.
Legacy Texas Bank.
Right.
Yes.
And so some of the things that you helped to implement helped to keep the city together during the tough economic times.
Well, thank you. The city council had a tremendous job back then, and we had great council members that worked very hard. And of course, the city staff is the team that delivers daily on our promise at the city, and they were the ones that really got us through the difficult times. We cut nearly $40 million out of the budget in that time.
Wow.
And we did it with, I think, a very limited impact on service. I think most citizens would not have seen much change in their daily service from the city. But we got through it, and it was critical because, we knew that the economy being bad was a temporary thing. So we
Right.
still had to take the long-term vision of the city and make sure that we were making good decisions that would benefit the city in 2030 and 40. But it was
Right.
difficult when the budget was all messed up to make those long-term decisions. But our city council did a great job, and the city staff did fabulous.
Well, that is awesome, and we're glad y'all did such a good job. And then you endorsed Mayor Harry
I did.
to come on board, and he came in and he came in with his Plano Tomorrow plan. I understand you were at dinner with him for holidays just last night.
Yeah, saw him last night, and of course, the master developer of Legacy, Femi Carahan, was there. And
Wow.
But yeah, Harry's done a fabulous job, and he was the right guy to take over in 2013. He's a real outgoing, promotional, entrepreneurial guy, and we've seen the last 3.5 years the results of his great personality.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I definitely think he's done a great job at, at the helm of Plano and bringing in places like Legacy West, and you guys laid the foundation for what he's been able to do with his plan. And what we're talking about, guys, is Plano. We're talking about Plano and all of these corporations that are just boom on the city. They're not going to Dallas. They're not going to Frisco. A few of them might be going to the Frisco, Plano, Garland, Richardson area, but people are coming to Plano. From what I read, it's like the biggest boom in the Southwest. Where else are companies going? They're coming here. Why are they coming here? Why do you think they're coming here?
Well, I think that, Plano just has so much to offer, and it's amazing. Toyota, of course, we've heard about this for several years now, and really the influx of people coming with Toyota will happen early spring of next year. So that's, they've been coming kind of in waves and
That's
moving
right.
from California and Kentucky, but the bulk of them will be coming here in spring of next year. And they did a nationwide search and narrowed it down. And Plano just continued to be at the top of the list. And I just
Right.
think it's such an we have excellent schools.
Yes.
We have an amazing cost of living. I mean, you could talk to anyone from Toyota if you've met anyone that works for the company. They can't get over how the houses they're able to buy because
Yes.
of what they were paying, in California. I mean,
Right.
Texas is just such a fantastic state. Everything has been done correctly.
Yes.
And it's really enticing corporations like Toyota to move their North American headquarters here. I mean, this
Whoa.
is a really big deal.
It is a huge deal, especially whenever you're a realtor. It's a
Yes.
wonderful time
It's
to
a
be a
great
realtor.
time for you.
Yes, because we don't have enough houses. And so that's a great place to be whenever there's not enough houses. And another thing is we don't have any state and local income tax.
That's right. That's
And
a
we-
huge thing.
Mm-hmm. We have low property taxes, just 2.345 in Plano. And there's so much entertainment. There's lots of diversity, great jobs, good weather.
It's a great place for families. It's a wonderful place to raise your family and have children here. And my mom moved to I went to SMU my junior year. My mother said we were living in Southeast Texas. She said, I don't know why we're still in Beaumont. No offense to anyone from
No,
Beaumont.
no.
I grew up there too. But she said, I want to come up to Dallas. And she actually in '94 moved to Plano. And at the time, I was in the Highland Park bubble, and I said, Plano, well, where is that?
Right.
And she said, oh, I've heard this is going to be the next big thing. And of course, Mother
Yes.
knows best.
Yes,
And here
yes.
we are 20 years later talking about it. It's really amazing.
It's really amazing. And I can't wait till after this break we're going to have. We're going to be talking about all the fun places that are going to be coming. I can't wait to hang out at Legacy West,
Yes.
you guys. There is some incredible, we can even start talking a little bit about it now. I'll start talking about Dean and Luca.
Dean and DeLuca coming.
Dean and DeLuca.
The first one in Texas coming to Plano, Legacy West. Could
Wow.
not be more excited about that.
Wow, it's like an Eatsy's kind of type of Whole Foods,
It's an amazing
New York
upscale food emporium.
emporium, a place to gain tons of carbs.
Yes.
You can get tons of carbs at Legacy West, and that's going to be awesome, and I can't wait. And that's going to be kind of the cornerstone store am I correct, of Legacy West?
Well, we've got a lot of those. We've
You
got
do.
a lot of firsts coming, so we'll have to talk about that. But Dina DeLuca is definitely going to be a huge draw.
Okay. And then we have a 3-level food hall.
Legacy Hall, yes.
And what is that all about?
Oh gosh, how much time do we have?
We don't have a lot of time. We better.
We'll get into that one because Legacy Hall is going to be unlike anything anybody has seen in this area. It's based
Whoa.
on European food halls. It's going to be spectacular.
And all these people are coming here. And it's just going to be so great. It's going to be a great place to be. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. We have Victoria Snee with Legacy West here with us today, giving us the scoop on what all's coming, as well as the former mayor of Plano, Bill Dyer. He's helping us understand everything that's going on in this wonderful city. We're so excited. So right now we're on the topic of food. We're talking about
Imagine that.
food.
It's always a good time to talk about food.
Never a bad time. And so there's going to be a 3-story food hall
Yes.
in Plano. And what all is going to be there?
Well, it's interesting because when you talk about it, the first thing you hear is, well, what exactly is a food hall?
Right.
So these are, the idea for this really came from European food halls.
Okay.
So if you've ever been to Harrods in London, they have that whole entire floor. It's really a very upscale kind of dining experience.
Okay.
So, of course, the guys from Front Burner, this is their concept and their idea that they worked with Femi Carahan, our master developer.
Okay.
And it's going to be a 3-story, as you mentioned, 55,000 square foot food hall.
Wow.
They will have 20 to 25 food stalls. And their idea is they want to bring the best of the best.
Oh.
So who makes the best Philly cheesesteak? Who
Okay.
makes the best macaroon? Who makes the best quesadilla? And those are going to be the food stalls that they are going to have inside of Legacy Hall.
Okay.
So, and it's amazing the response they've already gotten from some of the biggest Dallas named chefs. I mean,
Like-
John Teaser,
I heard you
formerly
say
of
that.
the Mansion,
Mhm.
yes, a knife. He is going to have a food stall. Matt McAllister
Oh,
at
okay.
FT33. The list goes on and on. And so what's going to be really exciting about it, it'll be, as you mentioned, the 3 floors. The top floor will be a craft brewery.
Okay.
And then outside, we got a thumbs up from the mayor on that one.
Yes.
On the outside, so that's 35,000 square feet. Then the additional 15 to 20,000 square feet will be
Uh-huh.
outdoor venue. So there will
Okay.
be a stage for
Okay.
fashion shows and concerts. There'll be a big screen TV to watch the Cowboys and any of your
Okay.
favorite sports games. So it's really an entertainment and food destination.
Okay. And then we're going to have the condominiums, the Windrose Tower, and in the center of Legacy West is going to be Windrose, which is the Rodeo Drive.
That's right. Windrose Avenue is our form of, our version of Rodeo Drive, Fifth Avenue.
Fifth Avenue.
Yes.
That reminds me of that. Times Square kind of thing. Are they going to have the advertisement did I read somewhere that they're going to have the billboards like the Times Square as well?
Well, if you're driving on the tollway, you'll see it now.
There's
We
that
have
one.
a
Mhm.
giant digital billboard that faces, actually, if you're heading north on the tollway, as you approach Legacy, you can see it. You can see it from the south end as well, but we do have a giant digital billboard that'll, of course, be promoting our fabulous retailers and restaurants and our Legacy West events. So
Right.
you'll always know what's going on.
Absolutely. And then they're going to have the Windrose Tower
Yes.
where we can buy a 1,000 square foot apartment or condo for what, 700 a square foot? Is that what you said? Mary?
That's the number I hear.
Yeah, I think one bedrooms start at about 650,000. And Jim Duggan, of course, owns the Windrose, and
Yeah,
the
he
mayor
served-
knows
Yeah, he served on
Jim.
the city council with me. He's
Oh,
very
okay.
involved in the community.
Well, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to live there, and you'll never have to park your car, and you'll have a valet. Now, didn't you win, or weren't you awarded Citizen of the Year from the Chamber of Commerce?
Yes, that was 1998.
1998. And you're really one of the people that helped to put into the plan. I'm just going to read a little bit about this Plano Tomorrow plan of Mayor Harry.
Well, you might want to talk first about how we got here. I had the good fortune back in the mid and late 90s of serving on the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Okay.
Which is when EDS was putting together the idea of Legacy Town Center and the shops at Legacy.
Okay.
And they were in a couple of people that were heavily involved with that were Robbie Robinson and Marilyn Casco.
Okay.
And they were the ones that selected Feemy Carahan, which turned out to be a pure genius.
Good idea.
Good idea. And so I've had the good fortune of being involved in this development since before it existed.
Okay.
Because the city development laws, zoning laws, sign ordinances, all had to be modified
Right.
to accommodate this new type of development. It was absolutely fascinating to go through it and see Feemy and his commitment to absolute 100% excellence, no waiver at all
Wow.
in action. And that's how we got what we've got.
That is awesome.
And now it continues into Legacy West.
Oh, my
It's-
God.
And
It's
it's
amazing.
Can't wait
and
to see it.
beyond. I mean, this is just the beginning because there's plans up to 20 years from now, of how they're going to have these dense urban developments where you can live, work, and play. And this is very attractive to corporations, which is very good for the homeowners and buyers and sellers in Plano because it increases the property values.
No question about it. You all talked earlier about a lot of the things that make Plano an attractive destination, not just to corporations, but also to families, the cost of living, housing prices, all those kind of things, and not to speak of things like DFW Airport. That's a huge part of who we are, and the Central
Right.
Time Zone. They're all little things that add to why corporations want to be here. And I recently read one of those magazines you're talking about that rated Plano as, third or fourth or whatever best thing.
Right.
They describe Plano as a community with big city amenities and a small town vibe. And I think that's a
Right.
great description of all this growth and excitement we've got going in the corporate sector. It's still a great neighborhood community to raise
Yes.
a family. And it's interesting to see a place pull off both of those at the same time.
Yes, and it's just such a great location in the Metroplex. We're in the fourth largest Metroplex in the United States, but we don't have as much traffic as, say, Boston or LA or New York, even though we can complain when we pass Park, on the tollway, we complain a little bit. But we have no idea what people have to go through in other cities. So traffic-wise, it's not as bad as most places, and you can get to the airport in 30 minutes, which is nice. And so yes, we've been named like the third hardest working city in America, as well as the best place to find a job, and we've been named the number 3 best place to live and the number 5 best place for families. So it's a great place for families. And whenever you were mayor, what did we get?
Yeah, Forbes magazine named Plano the best run city in the United States.
Woohoo!
Tip of the hat to the city staff and the management of the city.
Not you at all, though.
No, he was a coincidence.
You had nothing
He's
to do with
very
it. He's
humble.
very humble, a very humble guy. So yes, we've got all of these companies. So that's very interesting to me. You say that. See, I didn't realize that. I mean, I did realize, but it's hard to fathom. It's hard to. My mind is spinning because there's so much going on, and so you're saying that the companies have not even fully gotten here. Well, the buildings are not built yet, so that means a lot more people are coming to town.
Oh, absolutely. As I mentioned with Toyota, of course, and they're still under construction. And in that area that we're talking about where Legacy West is, with the Tollway and 121, that was a huge land development deal, of course, with JCPenney. But that's 255 acres that's being developed. So you've got Toyota,
Wow.
you've got Liberty Mutual, you've got FedEx Office, JP Morgan Chase, and then, of course, Legacy West.
That's
So,
amazing.
in that section of 121 in the Tollway and that 255 acres,
Right.
we're going to see anywhere from 20 to 30,000 people in that area on a daily basis.
So it's daytime traffic, and that's great for retailers.
It is, and the Tollway has done an excellent job. I mean, a lot of the construction that you're seeing now is because of this. I mean, they know what's going to happen, so that's why they're working on all of the roads now and making them, widening them, and really, traffic flow is a huge issue, and that's
Huge.
been so thought through. I can tell you, with Legacy West, I mean, we are going to make it as easy as possible for people to be able to get in and out. But then again, if you don't want to deal with it, you can just buy an apartment and live there. So there you go.
Right.
Or exactly right. We're renting a place and walk to work, and
Yep.
this is a perfect example of a place where high-density residential makes perfect sense. It doesn't make sense everywhere.
No.
But this is a perfect example of where it does make sense.
because some residents in the, because Plano 1.0 was a bedroom community where, there wasn't a lot of apartment communities or anything. It was just homes, and incredibly, very proud of their school system, taking really good care of that. And this is kind of moving us to the next level. And then it went to Plano 2.0. I guess that's with Shops of Legacy. And then now we're going to Plano 3.0, where we're becoming a huge metropolis with a skyline and everything.
Yeah,
So
that's what's happening. We mentioned Femi Carahan, our master developer at Legacy West, and he talks about we're building Plano's skyline. That's what he's most excited to see. But it is very much, that whole mixed-use development has really been the trend in real estate for the past 15 years. And so
Right.
what he was able to accomplish at the shops, we're taking to a whole other level at Legacy West. So the
Right.
brand at Legacy West, people started moving in. There's people already living there. They started
the
moving
Windrose?
in. No, the Windrose they're about to break ground on the Windrose. So that hasn't been built yet. But the Grand at Legacy West actually are the apartments above the
Okay.
retail. People started moving in August.
Oh,
So
my
there's people
goodness.
already living at Legacy West. And
Already
in fact,
living there.
office tenants are starting to move in as well.
Okay, well, that's exciting. And yes, absolutely. And then we have lots of retail coming in. Now, I was thinking about across the street, there's 121, because we're talking 121 in the Tollway. Then across the street, we've got Shops of Legacy. I'm getting confused. There's so many places. And then we've got the boardwalk. And I know that's not a part of what you're doing, but there is a boardwalk over there with Granite Properties, right?
Yeah, great development, good people, Mike Dardick and Greg Fuller, first-class operation. The whole area comes together in
It
so many
does.
beautiful ways with all this activity. And it even spills over across 121, and obviously in all the exciting things going on in Frisco. So,
In Frisco,
yeah, it's all great for our region.
as well as the colony. What's going on there?
The Nebraska Furniture Mart was a game changer for the colony.
Thank you, Warren Buffett,
Yes.
right?
Well, and thank you, Ross Perot, for assembling the Legacy land to
That's
make
right.
all
Ah.
of Legacy Business Park, EDS. It was Ross Perot.
Was it?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Plano would look so different if that had never occurred.
Okay, so now we know it's Ross Perot. Thank you, Ross Perot,
Oh, it was.
for your help in making Plano what it is today. Now, what is that area right around Park? Is there a name for that, where the Eatsies is, in the theater?
I think they're calling it's got a name, but I'm not positive. West Plano
no.
something. I don't
So
know.
we have to learn all these new
I
names.
know.
Yes.
I just call it Inside the Loop, because
That works. Let's go with that.
How about that? We'll do that. So, when we get back, we'll talk a little bit more about some of the companies that are coming to Plano, and I want to talk about the property values in Plano. And don't you think that'd be an interesting thing to talk about, urban development, stuff like that?
Oh, yes.
Nice little arguments going
Certainly.
on. Okay, welcome back to the show. I'm having so much fun today with the former Mayor Phil Dyer of Plano, Texas, and Victoria Snee, Marketing Director with Legacy West. We are talking Plano today, Plano 3.0, all of that wonderful development that's going on. You're wondering what we're going to be able to do in the near future. We're going to be able to go out and eat at this 3-tower food place and shop. Lots of shopping going to be going on. It's going to be the greatest place to go, and we're excited about that. Plano's really landlocked right now, right? We don't.
Yeah, we're as big as we're ever going to be. We're about 72 square miles. This is it.
This is it.
Yep.
This
It's
is
okay.
it.
It's
We
okay.
just make it great.
We'll just make it great right where we are. And you're saying, Victoria, we only have about 9 acres left at Legacy West.
Well, of that 255-acre land development deal, there's, I think, I'm not positive, but somewhere roughly around that area of acreage that still needs to be developed. So not a lot.
No, not at
Not a
all.
lot.
And then from what I read, we have like 6% overall in all of Plano of land left.
That's
So there's
correct.
just nothing there's nowhere to go except up. And now we're building these fabulous condominiums with the Windrose Tower coming in Legacy West. And, but we still have affordable housing in Plano.
Absolutely, yes. We've got, obviously new housing is very expensive. There's virtually no residential land left in Plano, almost zero. So, it's what you want to see, some of your older housing, is being renovated and upgraded,
Yes.
and these older neighborhoods are fabulous places with wonderful schools, and
Yes.
it's going on already.
Yes, and I'm definitely seeing a lot of that. Like, I sell homes in one day that are, in these great school districts, all the Plano schools. People love Plano schools. Y'all have done such a wonderful job at keeping the school system so fabulous. And everybody wants to come to Plano schools, and they're fighting over the homes that are there, which is a really good place to be if you're a realtor, because it's a seller's market, and you just get a listing and it's going to be gone the next day. In fact, if anybody wants to sell your home in Plano, hey,
We know someone over
I
here.
know someone. My name is Jenna, and I am a realtor, and I'm with Remax Dallas Suburbs, and you can just you can email me at jennaryanrealty at gmail.com anytime, and I would be happy to help you sell your home or help you find a home. I definitely have clients in Plano that are looking for homes. We go around and look for the best, there's lots of flippers that come out, and we look for people that do the high quality work, and these really quiet streets with nice yards, huge trees. Usually they go in and gut the home and open it up, and because it used to be a little bit more boxy. Now they open it up and open up the kitchens and add the granite and redo the bathrooms, and so the homes are just being redone, but you keep the look on the outside, a very Plano look. Know what I'm talking about?
Absolutely. They say, the houses have got good bones, and they just bring
Right.
them up, and then we have all these new young families coming to our community, which is just so healthy for the future of our community.
Absolutely, and there's lots of diversity in our community.
Oh, yeah.
And the way that Plano is developed, you have parks, and lots of different places, right?
Oh, absolutely. It was kind of interesting, back in the late 80s, I was on the park board for 6 years, and at that time, our plan was we'd have 1 acre for every 100 citizens. So we
Oh.
thought that the city of Plano would end up about 300,000, so that meant 3,000 acres of parks.
Okay.
Well, our city population's a little bit less than that, and we have 4,000 acres of parks now, so.
Wow.
So that shows the commitment that the city and the city councils for all these years, and the citizens who've approved the bond programs to buy and build these parks, have realized how important that open space is to our quality of life.
Right,
So,
right. Y'all have done a great job. We really appreciate that. Now, I know that on the Plano Tomorrow plan, that Mayor Harry wants to build more dense, urban, walkable areas, and some residents are fighting that. Do you know anything about that?
Well, I've been reading about it and listening to it. I haven't been involved in it, but the comprehensive plan touches a lot more than just the residential future of our city. It covers
Right.
the entire thing. It's a massive document. Back 30 years ago, I served on the last comprehensive plan committee. We developed a plan that's lasted us till now. So the
That's
new
amazing.
plan, a long time ago, but it's the new plan is great. It touches on a lot of things. Obviously, the most controversial part is the discussion about multifamily in our community. We already have a lot of multifamily. There's no question about it. And I think
Right.
the plan identified some places where it might be appropriate to do this mixed use, more dense, call it new urbanism type development.
Okay.
But I don't think the plan tries to say that all those places are appropriate. Some of those places might be appropriate. And so it's very controversial, because you could look at that plan and say, well, it's going to be there, those dense multifamily projects everywhere. And I don't think the city council would do that, but who knows in the future what's going to happen. But it's something that you got to keep your eye on,
Right.
and be very cautious about where you do those. You cannot drop these in everywhere and expect a legacy town center. It just doesn't happen. It's the gold standard for the entire United States of how new urbanism is supposed to look.
Okay, I see. So you don't just want to just plop this in a neighborhood somewhere?
Oh, no, it just doesn't work. And there have been a couple of times, and I was involved in one many years ago, that didn't turn out like we had thought. And so they look good on paper, and
Okay.
in reality, sometimes they don't work like that. And there have been a lot of failures of mixed-use developments around the country, because it takes a lot of different dynamics coming together to create a legacy town center.
So you learn from those mistakes.
Oh, my gosh.
And as you learn, and that's why we are where we are today, where we're able to have a really good venue in order to do all of these things. That is-
Absolutely, and as you mentioned too, I mean, it's there's, not a lot of Femi Carahans in this world. And for me to be able to witness it on a daily basis, the commitment, the energy.
Who is Femi
the
Carahan?
passion.
I keep hearing this. His name.
He's
It's a great story of a Turkish immigrant who's done well in America.
He came here with nothing. I mean,
Really?
literally $100.
Oh my goodness.
And just it's unbelievable to witness it on a daily basis. Like I said, the passion and the determination and the energy, that's the reason why these are so successful. It is so much about who is behind the work.
The
and
people behind
it. And what he's been able to accomplish, and what, just witnessing it every day, it's really unbelievable. We are so fortunate. We really are. And I don't think people know that.
Oh, I agree
People don't
100%.
get it.
His absolute dedication to excellence, and without cutting corners where he could put a few more dollars in his pocket, he just hasn't done it.
No.
It has been absolutely perfect every step of the way, and that's his standard, is perfect.
Now, does he develop anywhere else in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex?
No, and that's really what he's most proud of. I mean, a lot of developers are like that, and they'll have several projects going on at one time, and he is all about, no, I do one at a time. And that's because he puts so much of the focus and the energy into that project. And so
Right.
that's why it becomes such a perfect place, because it has his full attention.
Okay. So this Femi Carahan, we have him to thank.
We
I
do.
need to look him up and see what he looks like. So if I see him out at Artens,
You can thank him.
I can thank
Yes.
him. And I actually saw the Mayor Harry at Artens, and I was so excited. He was having dinner with the Toyota executive.
Oh,
and
cool.
I got my photo with him because I was like, wow, this is just totally Plano.
Well, he's so approachable, right? I mean,
He
he's
really
such a
is.
great guy, and I know his wife well as Tracy. She's wonderful. I mean, they're just a wonderful family, and he loves to get his picture taken, and he's just such an approachable, fun mayor.
Yeah, he is passionate.
Well, that's awesome. Now, your husband, Victoria, is
Yes.
Jeff Crilly.
Yes.
And I hear his name everywhere, and I know I've seen him on TV.
Hopefully, all good when you've heard his name.
Absolutely. They're like, Jeff Crilly does this, Jeff Crilly does that.
Well, he actually has a show
Right.
in your time slot on Saturdays. So he's here Saturday mornings at 11 on 1190.
Right.
And yes, so he was a reporter for 25 years, 16
Okay.
years at Fox 4, and
Okay.
started his own PR business in 2008.
Okay.
So yes, so I'm very proud of him and everything that he's accomplished. And he and I have lived in Plano now for 15 years, and
Wonderful.
we absolutely love it.
Love the area.
Love the area, and we have to thank my mother because she brought us here. She's the one that moved to Plano in 1994. But we're just thrilled, and his daughter has a little boy, and he's in Plano schools.
Yeah.
And we're so proud and thrilled that our families are all here together in Plano.
Well, that's awesome. And you live over near the Arbor Park.
Yes, the
that
nature preserve.
Nature Preserve. I just love that area.
Even that, what a gem that is.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
think-
sure you know the story
Yeah,
behind that.
Well, I
What?
think there are a lot of people in Plano are aware of Arbor Hills. And
Right.
So
wow,
wonderful.
Go to it and take a walk. You cannot believe you're in Plano, Texas.
I agree. Did you help to facilitate that area as well?
I can't remember when that park came online. It was probably before my time as mayor, but it's just, our park department has won awards for decades on their development and excellence, and it's just a continuation. But truly, for all the people around Plano, go to Arbor Hills and
Yes.
check it out. It
And,
is awesome.
yeah, it's a great place to pray, meditate.
Yes.
And it's got some nice ponds and some, what is that? Addison, no. What is the name of that area right over there?
By
The apartments over there. There's apartments and there's some shops.
Austin Ranch?
Thank
Oh,
you.
Austin Ranch, yes.
Austin
Sure.
Ranch area.
Yeah.
That's nice to go to every once in a while.
It really
Watch a
is
football
beautiful,
game.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay, so thank you guys. Do we have any callers calling in today at 214-787-1190? We've got a lot of viewers on Facebook as well as listeners on air. Thank you so much for listening. You guys call in and ask some questions, and we will get your questions answered today. Call in at 214-787-1190. Welcome back to the show. We're having a great show on Plano 3.0 today. I'm here with Victoria Snee of Legacy West and the former mayor of Plano, Phil Dyer. These people are a wealth of information. I'm learning so much today about all the new things that are coming along the new Legacy corridor. Is it called the $1 Billion Mile?
That is something going on in Frisco that I
Okay.
believe they call it the $5 billion
Yes.
mile.
The $5 billion.
Yes,
Exactly.
that's what I've heard.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with you guys.
No. Mm-mm.
But it's right next door.
It is north, yes. It's north of 121 in Frisco, and I think that has to do with the Cowboys and the Star.
Okay.
And then a few other developments that are planned, I believe, for that area.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, and I understand, Mayor, that we have some things going down in downtown Plano. What's going on
Oh,
in
man,
downtown
downtown Plano is a great success story from the arrival of DART rail, light rail down there.
Okay.
And there's another place where dense multifamily development makes sense. There's quite a bit of
I
it that's
agree.
been built down there in the last 15 or 20 years. And there'll probably be some more, but it's a place where it does make sense. That used to be just a dead area of town, quite frankly. Downtown Plano was nothing was going on. Now it's alive with shops and restaurants and activities and a little outdoor music venue.
Cool.
And it's a great place to go, and it's alive 7 nights a week, and a lot of people
Awesome.
living down there, and it's really an exciting thing to see going on down there.
I recently sold a home down there, and there's a lot of the like 1800s or early 1900s homes that are still down there that have been refurbished and are very cute and walkable.
Oh yeah, there's some great neighborhoods down there, excellent schools. I mean, anywhere there's a Plano school, you've got an excellent school, period.
Awesome. Well, we had a question from one of our viewers on Facebook, and she was wanting to know about property tax values in Plano. Can you talk to us a little about that?
Well, yeah, very briefly, property taxes, if you get your property tax bill, you've got the school, the city, the county, and the community college. And the school district is far and away the largest portion of your property taxes.
Right.
In Plano, the property tax rate is the lowest of any city of size in our area, and all of the tax rates in our area are reasonable, but Plano's
Right.
is the lowest. And I believe that in the new city budget that just began October 1st, there's actually a modest rate reduction. So I salute the city
Wow.
staff and the city council for
Nice to
passing a
know.
rate reduction. But obviously, your property taxes are driven by a function of the tax rate and your property value. So the property values go up, your taxes go up. And I
Right.
think the city council's doing a great job spending the money wisely, and again, they just approved a tax rate decrease, so I think they're being fabulous stewards of their money.
They're really wanting to attract the people to come to the city,
Yeah.
and they're doing a great job.
Yeah, it's not just commercial. We want to remain a wonderful place for people to live and for families to grow, and I think everybody gets that, and they're doing it right.
Absolutely. And so also I wanted to talk a little bit, this is what I want to know. Christmas is coming. I know we can't shop there yet. When can we start shopping at Legacy West?
Well, our grand opening will be March 2nd,
Oh.
2017. So you can mark your calendars. But that's when, of course, not everyone will be open on that exact date.
Okay.
But the majority of our tenants will be opening in
Okay.
March. So yes, so very soon.
How about the hotel?
The hotel, the Renaissance Hotel, it's a 303-room hotel, spectacular. You can really see it. I mean, it's just going to be gorgeous.
Awesome.
That will be later spring, early summer.
It looks beautiful.
It's going to be beautiful.
Well, are you going to do a big shindig opening?
Well, we have to. I mean, we've got to let the world know that,
Right.
Legacy West is here.
That's what she
so
does.
That's
That's
my
your
job. Well, so absolutely. We've got to celebrate.
Absolutely. So tell me about some of the shops that have already committed to coming in.
Well, we are super excited to have a Barnes & Noble concept store. So this is brand new. They've only announced a handful of these across the country, and we'll have the first one in the Southwest.
Right.
But what that means is there will be not just your books, but we'll also have beer and wine. So beer and wine to go along with your books. They're going to have a full-scale restaurant, and it's really going to have, it's about 9,000 square feet. But a very kind of neighborhood feel.
Right.
So to get one of these concept stores is really, really
That's
exciting.
great.
Just a really good destination for
It is.
something to do on a Saturday with friends and family. Go to the bookstore, pick up some books, drink some coffee, have dinner, have lunch.
Yeah, you can have dinner.
wine.
And they're going to
Any
have
time of day.
absolutely, they're going to have, all kinds of activities as well. They're scheduling events and, music series and concerts, and so it's really going to be
Ah.
a destination as well within Legacy West.
Well, then you're also going to have some fabulous restaurants not in the food hall.
That's right, we
Okay.
are. It's, oh my gosh, the list is endless of the wonderful restaurants that we're going to have. Right across from the hotel, we mentioned the Renaissance, Del Frisco's Double Eagle Steakhouse. They're building a fabulous, fabulous restaurant that's going to be
Okay.
gorgeous. Alberto Lombardi is building 3 concepts. He'll have kind of a bistro-like concept,
Wow.
similar to Bistro 31 in Highland Park Village.
Sweet.
He's also bringing 2 of his favorites, Taverna and Toulouse are also coming. True Food Kitchen, which is a favorite in Preston Center, they're opening a location. Shake Shack, Shake Shack actually signed their first lease with Legacy West, but their location right outside of the Crescent opened first.
Okay.
But we'll have a Shake Shack, which is very exciting.
Yes.
Also Sprinkles Cupcakes
Yes, I've
opening
read.
their second location, which is
Awesome.
great. We'll have Macero from Mico Rodriguez, of course, formerly of Mi Casina. So if you haven't eaten at a Macero, they are so good. That's like my new favorite Mexican restaurant.
Oh, cool.
So it's really unbelievable the amount of restaurants that we'll have.
Okay.
And here's another mandate, Femi Carahan. Every restaurant has to have a patio. So there you go. So if you ever want to, people all the time, where's a fun patio?
We all want patios around here.
All of our restaurants will have patios.
Okay, so that's a requirement.
Yes.
It's the outdoor energy you all have. It's part of the
It
whole
is.
vibe there. It's really exciting.
That is really what builds the energy and the excitement.
I really agree, because we don't have mountains necessarily. I mean,
We don't.
but we have patios.
That's right.
And we dress well here.
We do.
We all dress, and are there going to be some nice clothing stores? That's what I'm wanting to know.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to know about jewelry and clothing and
Yes.
things like that.
We'll have a Coach store. We announced that. We'll have a Toomey store, so fabulous luggage. If you travel, we'll have one of those. Also, what's really interesting too, Mark Messiner with Open Realty Advisors, he's kind of curating, he's heading up our leasing team.
Okay.
And he's doing a really cool thing for men. We're going to have a really, really cool kind of men's block.
Ooh.
So we'll have Suit Supply, Pockets, which of course has been a Dallas institution for decades.
Perfect.
They're opening their second location. We'll have the first ever Peter Millar store
Yes.
as well for men's. Filson, Bonobos, all in this one kind of area of Legacy West. Warby Parker is opening a location as well. They're really cool. Glasses.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean, there's just, it's such a, if you go to legacywest.com, you can see all of the retailers that we've announced. Front Gate, which of course is, fantastic home furnishings.
Okay.
They're going to have a 22,000 square foot space. West Elm as well. I mean,
Love that
and
place.
that's the thing, we're really curating a mix of, whether it's home, it's fashion, it's accessories, we're really going to make it very diverse. So
Right.
for really anyone can find anything there.
So for people that, rent an apartment, they can go to the West Elm, and then there's also the high-end stores as well.
Right.
All coming together.
Exactly.
And we're going to be having all this influx of people and executives, and they have to dress, and they need these wonderful clothings. And I love that idea of having just a whole block.
Yeah.
Because you just don't see that. Is that a very typical thing in America?
It really isn't. If you're smart in your leasing plan, then you understand that. So it's a smart way to kind of, really put out where you want your retailers, and when you're thinking about the spaces and how you want it to be really easily managed for people. And that's the thing. I mean, you want to make everything as easily accessible as possible because of, we're all, with online shopping, that's a huge whole other thing.
Absolutely.
So it's really about creating an environment and an experience.
Okay.
So to get people off the computers and come and shop, with us.
Right.
We want to make sure that it's worth your time and effort.
And great customer service.
Always.
And easy returns. And you can shop online too if you want, and things like that. I love that idea, and I think it makes Plano an even better place with all of these wonderful new stores coming in and restaurants coming in where we can, and I really think it's going to increase the value of everything in Plano. It's going to make everything better.
And I also have to mention the parking too, because that's
Oh,
always
yeah,
a
thank
big
you.
question that we get. We will have over 5,000 parking spaces at Legacy West. So, because that's the biggest complaint
It's
we hear
horrendous.
about shops is, I don't have anywhere, we can't find anywhere to park. That will not be a concern. So we'll have valet, and then we'll have 5,000 parking spaces. So you don't have to worry about that.
I love Shops of Legacy. I go there a lot, and I love it. And I never have a problem parking because
I don't either.
I
but-
always have the valet. But you're right. So y'all are going to really have more parking over there.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We'll have way more than you probably could need, but that's more important than anything. So we don't want people to feel like that's going to be an issue, because it won't.
Okay, that's very nice. I noticed over there on the, what do you call that store over there in the colony?
Oh, Nebraska?
Nebraska. Did you see their parking lot?
No.
They
I
have
haven't
like
seen
a
it. Is
parking
it
lot
massive?
as big as the store.
Oh, gosh.
So, yes, we need plenty of parking. Thank
Well, you won't have to walk like a mile, so we'll
Yeah.
have like very accessible, easy parking.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank
I'm
you.
so honored to have both of you here. I feel like I'm just so happy. And Merry Christmas to everyone and Happy Holidays. We have a couple of shows coming up that are exciting before the end of the year. Next week, we're going to have Plano Moms coming on, the Plano Moms Group, which is a for-profit moms group. That's so cool. I love watching her on Instagram. And then we're also going to have Frisco Moms Care, which is a nonprofit Frisco Moms group, which is a good friend of mine, Ginger, who I've known for years and years. And she is the president of this nonprofit moms group that does things for moms in need and cares for the different moms. So we've got moms coming on, shows in the future. I'm talking with some real estate investors that are going to teach us how to flip homes, how to buy rentals, how to invest in real estate. We're going to talk about, we're going to have we're going to have a divorce attorney come on in January. Well, that's not exciting.
You seemed very excited about that.
I just love him. He's a friend of mine. I used to work for him when I was in my 20s. So it's really neat to have him come out. And he's a divorce attorney. And we're also going to be talking about divorce, which is not exciting. But we will be discussing it because it does have to do with real estate. So we've got all this great stuff. So y'all come back next week. See you next week. Thanks for being here. Happy holidays.